Hello, everybody. Welcome. We have got our friend Lionel back. And we've had so many people been messaging him. Where the hell's Lionel gone? Well, here he is, folks. Get your questions ready. All of his links are in the description box. We've watched the inauguration speech. Obviously, that is a centerpiece of what we're going to be discussing right now. But Lionel is open to answer any questions you've got. Put them in. We will get them in the chat. What was your first impression of it? And thanks, great to see you, Matt. Happy New Year and all that.
Good to see you. Happy New Year to you. Yes. First answer was relief, total, absolute relief. And I was thinking at some point somebody would pull the screen down and say, "Ha ha, fooled you. It's all a joke." Kamala Harris is the president. It was surreal. I don't even know. And people are, immediately they're focusing on different things like, why didn't he put his hand on the Bible? Who cares? What is the matter with you? The people, Republicans in particular, well, all Americans love to point out the nitpicky, the supercilious, the unnecessary. But he's a president. But 20 minutes before, all of a sudden, Biden drops pardons to his entire family. I mean, as we say in West Tampa, where I'm from, que cojones, what elephantine huevos does he have to do this? Just when you think he's 20 minutes before and he's still, but you know what? Who cares? Just be gone.
Does that mean the Biden crime family, they're all co-conspirators in activity for him to do that many pardons?
If I'm going to be pardoning somebody for something, for a reason, and it is by implication, one would think that they're admitting, but they haven't done anything. I mean, imagine you going to a spouse or wife or family member say, "I forgive you," for what? Just for whatever, it doesn't make any sense. A little bit about, not to mention too much, but you see, our
Whoop.
Here we go. This is our Constitution. This is it. Not laws, not whatever. And the idea of the pardons initially was we had a brand new country, very confused, no laws, no common law. We had George Washington, who pardoned people from the Whiskey Rebellion, holdovers, Civil War. The idea, Alexander Hamilton, one of our forebears, said it's this benign, just in cases of mercy. But now it's being doled out like, don't worry, before I leave. Trump is being asked to, and by the way, I don't want to presuppose that your audience knows everything about it, but we had this thing called the January 6th kerfuffle. It was a trespass. It was the most blown out of proportion. I call it failure to get a parade permit. So Trump has already said, I'm going to pardon all of them. So even he's doing it. That's not the centerpiece or the purpose of the pardon. But others are saying, what about me? Others are saying, wait a minute, what about my pardon? Now, all I'm saying is that who cares? Who cares? They're done. Our long national nightmare is over, as the great Gerald Ford said when he pardoned Nixon. It's over. Shaun, whatever Starmer's doing, whatever you think, you people, he is not cognitively, neurologically senescent, hobbled by decrepitude. He may be crazy, but we had a guy who was neurologically not fit. You wouldn't let him drive you home from the airport. He was gone. I mean, gone. He didn't know. I like ice cream. I'm thinking, what are you doing? What? Now, before that, you may not remember this. When Hillary Clinton ran in 2016, she was doing this. I don't know if you remember this. She had these falls. she would have these falls. She had a fall that Bill wrote about, and she was wearing these special glasses during our Benghazi hearings. They're called Fresnel lenses, these horn rim things, which for diplopia, for double vision. And doctors are saying, she's got double vision. Wait a minute, this is a neurological. When Hillary Clinton accepted the nomination and the lights were going off in the balloons, she was doing this. She was going through seizures in front of us, and the American public said this, we don't notice anything. It's like, what do you people need to hear, to see? And when Biden was walking around, clearly out of his mind, non compos mentis, the Democratic Party and the legacy media said he's sharp as a tack, never been better. Not only, it's like if you came home, you're standing there nude, wearing a ballerina tutu, and there's a woman naked, unconscious, and you turn to your wife and say, what? What are you talking about? Who's that? Who's what? That woman. I don't, what are you talking, do you believe me or your lying eyes? That's what we've been going through. But it's over. Shaun, it's over.
But Lionel, it's times like this, everyone is filled with so much hope. And I have to fall back on a letter I received from a Bonanno crime family, multiple homicide, mafia killer from prison. This is back in 26th of March, 2008. Guy called Two Tonys. He was a natural philosopher. And he wrote to me, okay, bro, keep in touch. And be pulling for Obama in the race. He's as crooked as hell, but they all are. They ain't nothing nice. Let him have his issue. We all know McCain and Hillary got theirs. It's Obama's turn to stick it to the masses, the great unwashed. His turn to piss on our heads and tell them it's raining. I'm sorry. Do I sound bitter? I'm really not. You know me. I'm just venting about how stupid the public is. I saw one of those so-called men of God the other night on TV. He was selling handkerchiefs announced by God. And I thought of all the poor MFers getting fleeced. Then I thought, F them. If he don't get them, then the plumber will, or the insurance man, or the doctor, or the lawyer. Bottom line is this. There will always be in England, and there will always be suckers. So I'm not trying to dampen the hope here. But what he's saying is, we all get boosted around this time,
right?
And then get the piss comes down upon us. With Trump, you think it's going to be different?
Oh, absolutely. But it's not perfect. Listen, it's the system. You can't be allowed, if you're allowed to act totally without the confines, without the strictures of some kind of corrupt world, then that's one thing. But you're not. You're saying, fine, now come in to this world now, do your best, and let us, because remember, they hosed Trump before when he was a president once. But see, here's the difference. He's learned. You see, take what you know now, go back to that young Shaun Atwood, the young person, and you would have done things differently, no doubt. It's what most people would do. But if you had done them, if I said, okay, I want you to live your life again, but use the rules you've learned now, you'd be much more effective, much more deadly. You would know what to do. See, I don't believe in anything called morality. And what I mean by that is I'm not moral or immoral. I don't understand those concepts. Those are words you attribute. I have my own sense of right and wrong.
Is your mic plugged in right? Because when you unmuted it, hit it or unmuted yourself, you've come back a little faint.
Let me see. Hang on a minute. Hang on. Let me see. Just a minute.
Okay. And while Lionel adjusts his mic, everybody, Lionel, the links are in the description box below this video.
Is that better? Is that better? That should be better. Is that better?
Yeah. I mean, I'll turn you up at my end anyway. No one's complaining except for me. Let's keep going.
Let me see something. No.
Okay.
You know what it is? Here we go.
Yeah.
That's better.
That's it. What did you do?
That's it. That's it. I know. See, I know how to work this StreamYard thing. It's the most sensitive. It's the most sensitive thing. I mean, if you fart funny, all of a sudden it's gone. So anyway, we're back in noise. But anyway, but listen, this is a world that it's corrupt from the beginning. Though the problem is, let me see if I can explain this to you. If I could be anything, I would be a guy in my movie. I'm the guy that they introduced me to Trump to. And I meet him one time and I say, I'm only going to meet you this one time. And that's all. I never go to the White House. You don't know my number. I don't talk to you. We have intermediaries, plausible deniability. There were two people that I loved in history. One is Beria, who was a Stalin's guy who said, show me the man, I'll show you the crime. They ultimately got him, but he said, I'm your guy. I'm your hatchet guy. The second is a fellow named Cesare More, who was Mussolini's main police officer, who tortured all the mafiosi, who got rid of him. He tortured them. He said, I'll take care of this. But I don't want you to know, but I'll take care of it. I want Trump to understand this. You're going to have to break it off in them, as we say in the South. You're going to have to take your enemies and crush them. You don't have the killer instinct in you. You don't have it. I have it as a matter of, it's not even, I like to think of myself kind of as a vaccine. In order for me to create antibodies to scare people, I've got to take somebody that I will pick so that everybody else says, remember what he did to so-and-so. Remember what he did to him. Yeah, we don't want that. The first level, by the way, this goes for all of us watching right now, my good friend. Number one, we have to, as citizens, have to scare the living hell out of the bad guys, out of the people who run the show. That's number one. Number two, we have to demand complete and total 100% freedom of speech. Put all the warning signs. Warning. This is the Shaun Atwood show. He doesn't know what he's talking about. Don't believe anything he's saying. That being said, have a nice show. That's it. If you don't like my show, if you don't like it, don't listen to me. Don't say misinformation, disinformation, data information, whatever it is. We have to be able to say anything. Shaun, you're going to see right now the elevation of the age of the conspiracy theory, because all of a sudden, have you noticed, you can get away with more. All of a sudden.
Candace Owens just got remonetized. And she believes that's timed with these consequences that are going to befall platforms now if they algorithmically strangle the content creators. Now,
Candace Owens, bless her heart, is still young and she's going to learn. Candace Owens goes up to people like this. Nah, you don't do it like that, because they will say, okay, you've got to be a little subtle. Look, you know how this game is. You know how this thing works. You have to let me give you an example of something. Talk around something. She's going on now, her whole thing is, but before, I mean, listen, bless her heart. God bless her. I really don't care. She's not my cup of tea. Doesn't really matter. But her whole thing before was Macron's wife is a man and Kamala Harris isn't black. And now they're going after Michelle Obama like you can't believe. It's like, okay, if this is what you want to do, that's fine. But you're too blatant. You come across as being mean. What's the purpose? She's got, just as an aside, I love her to death. She's got some serious steamer trunk emotional baggage. She's angry and she's going to take it out on you, and she just gets worked up. She doesn't know how to do this. She's like, do you ever see two boxers? Do you ever see Mike Tyson get mad at somebody in the ring? Never. He's trying to kill him, but you don't get mad. You can do much more. I'll tell you one time, I used to do talk radio, conventional talk radio. And I was saying one time, I said, I'm going to be the most disgusting, and I'm not going to say anything wrong. I'm going to say something. And I was describing a woman that we knew who had a terrible smell. And that was the subject matter. Shaun, I talked about it. People were screaming in disgust. I never said anything. I was talking around it. Alfred Hitchcock never showed you the monster. People, Psycho, he never showed you. He said, why do I want to show you this? What is the purpose? So anyway, but the point is, good for her. I want to talk about 9/11, biomedical, shall we say, martial law and tyranny. I want to talk about geoengineering. I want to talk about 9/11, my thing, everything and anything, up to and including anything at all. Let me talk about it. And if I say something that's wrong, so be it. You realize, Shaun, you can say anything that's wrong about diet and get away with it. And there are people saying, eating 10 pounds of bacon is good for you. I think that's stupid, but if that's what you want to say, what am I going to do? Arrest you? That's happening. That's number one. Number two, when you saw the president and behind him, the guy from Google, Mark Zuckerberg, Bezos, who, by the way, his wife doesn't she look like some kind of something from a circus act? Bezos' wife? She looks like she didn't get the tranny memo or something. Like, what is this? And Zuckerberg's looking at her bra's hanging out. Did you see this? This is Bezos' wife. He's the second or third richest man.
Go back to the speech. Go back to the speech. What resonated the most with you today in the speech?
Well, you didn't like that? I was on my way talking about these people. Well, the
speech. We got to be careful. Still.
Well, the frankly is nothing. Okay, frankly, I'm just grabbing what she looked like. Yeah, what I thought was the most important? Nothing really. The fact that he was there. Trump doesn't know. Trump does not understand anything about being presidential. He doesn't know what that means. Most people would say, now is the time for us to realize and reconcile and put together for. No, not him. He went right after him. And Liz Cheney did this, and you did this, and January 6th, and you went after me. And when they shot me, they were going to kill me. It was because I thought God was there, because they tried to kill me, and you tried to kill me. And this is in front of a rally, same thing. And they tried to kill me, and they tried to shoot me. In a speech before, this is forever going to be in the history books. Ask not what your country can do for you. Ask what you, Trump, and they're going to shoot me, I'm going to kill me, and I'm going to get you. He doesn't care about that. We have a senator named John Fetterman. Did you see him? He walks in with short pants and a hoodie and tennis shoes. He's like 6'9". He's a gargoyle. He's Shrek. Please go look at this. Here, listen to this. He had a terrible ischemic attack, a stroke at one point. When he started off, he was so bad, he needed a machine to read legislation. He couldn't read. So help me God, he would walk out and he yelled, where am I? Shaun, he had a complete and total recovery. He's 100%. I don't understand what's going on there. He's fine. Biden's bad. It wasn't anything about the speech. The fact is, let Trump be there. The first thing he did was he canceled an app. The Biden administration gave out apps or allowed illegal aliens with cell phones. Where they get the money for cell phones, I have no idea. To have an app which allowed them to immediately greenlight, acclamation or whatever it is. They canceled it. It's like TikTok. By the way, did you love that TikTok story? You want to go there? You want to go why they canceled TikTok for an hour?
Why did he do that for? Was it an FU? A farewell FU?
Well, one of the things was, it's been suggested, one of the suggestions was it was a conciliation to Israel. Now, let me tell you something right off the bat, just so that you know this. I've got no problem with Israel, France, the UK, Wales, anybody. None. I'm a realist. I'll say what your country's doing, and I may have there's a difference between Starmer and the Brits and the Britons and the English people. You have nothing to do. I'm not going to. So the same thing goes for Israel. If I don't like what Bibi's doing, it has nothing to do with Judaism or the Jews or the Israelis. And for some reason, these guys have a stranglehold on my country. They come in, and they own this place. They own this. We have this guy who comes and speaks before Congress. So supposedly the story was TikTok had absolutely no filter whatsoever on the horrors that were being allegedly committed in Gaza to the Palestinians. Now, all of a sudden, you want me to believe that we give a damn? You got me scared now because you're spooked there, big guy. I don't want to say a bad word like caca or doo-doo in any event, but they've got these folks who believe that all of a sudden we care about China. China, Shaun, in our country, China has bought all of the farmland around military bases.